Nobody's going to tell you this, so I will. There's a certain kind of man, successful, disciplined, who built a life that looks right from every angle. But there's one thing he carries that doesn't match the rest, and he's known about it longer than he'd ever say out loud. He's not the guy at rock bottom. He's the guy who's been managing it, choosing restaurants by the drink menu, planning trips around when he can drink freely, telling himself he's in control, while knowing somewhere underneath that he isn't. And a few times, he did try to stop. With willpower, white-knuckling, months of fighting something that always came back. Because everything out there told him the answer was to fight harder. What if the fight is the problem? What if freedom doesn't come from fighting alcohol? It comes from becoming someone who doesn't need it. The one idea changed my life. My name is Jamie Levere. Welcome to Sober Man on a Mission. This is my first video on this channel, and I wanted to start by telling you something that I do not tell many people. In 1974, I was 6 years old, sitting in my grandparents' kitchen. My uncle, a kind, tough, whiskey drinking man's man, handed me a sip of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. He meant nothing by it. It was just one of those moments. But something woke up in me that day. Something that would quietly run my life for the next 4 decades. On the outside, I had it together. I was a banker, I had a career, a family, a life that looked successful by every measure that matters. But on the inside, I knew alcohol was running the show, and I was just along for the ride. Then came November of 2022, pancreatitis. My doctor looked me in the eye and told me I needed to stop drinking. And after one more night of pretending that that warning didn't apply to me, I woke up the next morning and knew with absolute certainty that if I kept going, I would die. That morning, I walked into my wife Jennifer's home office and said the words I'd been avoiding for years. I'm an alcoholic and I need help. Her response was firm, compassionate, and exactly what I needed to hear. She said, I know, but you have to want to get help. And I did. I checked into a 21-day rehab program at Bradford Health Services right here in Madison, Alabama. And during those 21 days, something happened that I did not expect. One of the counselors looked around the group and said, only 1 or 2 of you will finish this program and stay sober for life. And I remember sitting there quietly thinking, that's going to be me. But here's what I discovered, and this is the part that changed everything. I didn't get free from alcohol through willpower. I'd tried that before. The longest I ever white-knuckled it was 7 months. And those were some of the most miserable months of my life. I wasn't free. I was just a prisoner who wasn't allowed to leave. What actually set me free was something completely different. I stopped trying to fight alcohol, and I started seeing myself as someone who simply doesn't drink. Not someone who can't drink, someone who doesn't drink. That's a small difference in words, but it's an enormous difference in what it means. Can't means there's something you want, and you're being denied it. That's restriction. That's a fight you have to win every single day. Doesn't means the desire isn't there to fight anymore. Not because you suppressed it, but because you become someone for whom it no longer makes sense. I didn't quit drinking. I became someone who doesn't drink. And the day that shift happened, the fight was over. That's why I started this channel. Because I know there are men out there right now who look like they have it all together. The career, the family, the discipline, but they know that alcohol is quietly taking things from them. Their clarity, their presence, their health, their peace. And most of what's out there for them doesn't fit. They don't see themselves in a disease model. They're not ready to stand up in a room and introduce themselves by a label. They don't need rock bottom stories. They need a different way of seeing themselves. That's what this channel is about. Identity transformation. The idea that you don't have to fight alcohol for the rest of your life. You can outgrow it. You can become someone who simply doesn't drink. Not through willpower, not through white-knuckling, but through changing who you believe yourself to be. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm a retired banker who found a way out and wants to show other men the door. If any of that resonates with you, if you're that man who's been quietly wondering if there is a better way, you're in the right place. Subscribe. It's free, because I'm going to be sharing everything I've learned about how identity transformation works and why it changes everything. And if you want to take the first step right now, I've put together a free guide called The Identity Shift: Why I Stopped Calling Myself an Alcoholic. It's the idea behind everything I teach, that freedom doesn't come from fighting alcohol. It comes from becoming someone who doesn't need it. The link is in the description. It's free. Just read it and see if it changes the way you think about yourself. And if you know a man who needs to hear this, send him this video. Sometimes the door opens because someone else points to it. I'm Jamie Levere, sober man on a mission, and I'll see you in the next one.